Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be each and every Sunday night, where tonight we're coming to you on Top Split TV from Sonoma, which for some time was notorious for having the lowest strength of field for any SNL or MNL race. And tonight, not only has it taken the title for the strongest strength of field for SNL, but it's taken the crown for the strongest strength of field in any Skippy race in history. Tonight we've cracked 6,200, and you know the folks have done it once again. Let me just grab the race info here at Sonoma Cup. It's myself, Alex McKellar, and joining me as always is the chaotic one himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser. Corey, I'll bring you in. Magic Night are racing ahead of us. The ticket to ride, you needed a 5,250 odd to get a ticket to race in this one. How's that, eh?
That's absolutely incredible, Alex. So we were just talking before the race, and there's some big names in the second split, and they'd be absolutely kicking themselves. But Tim Birdie, the luckiest man alive, being car 14 in this 6,243 strength of field. Absolutely incredible number. I missed the last biggest split that we had, and this is well and truly made up for that this season already.
Yeah, crazy stuff ahead of us tonight, mate. Really looking forward to seeing what the guys can put on display for us here for the big one. All right, let's go through our field, see who's made it into the big dance. Starting as car number one is for Saybelt Esports is Manu Luqueta. He's had some crazy pace here, absolutely blistering, and track conditions say it's about 23 degrees, so we should see some crazy times here tonight. Adam Miles, fresh off his maiden victory at Bathurst last week, joins us as car number two. Christian Perez, former champion, joins us for Astro Racing Team. He's car number three, ahead of the second Italian in the field, Dario Frattini, who's car number four. Dimitri Philippides, the National Man of Mystery, joins us as car number five, just ahead of the leading ANZ driver in the field, Brett McBurney for McFlabby Racing. Car number seven in this monster field is the lone Japanese driver. Great to see him back. Takumi Yamato-san. Great to see him back out on track for Nagai Racing School. Car number eight tonight will be Jose Louis Mella from Iberia. Strong I rating suggests he's got some form on the board as well based on the warm-up race. Chris Herrera for Running on Empty. He is joining us once again. We haven't seen Chris for a while. It's got to be like, I don't know, 4 or 5 in the morning in the great US of A where he's from. And Corey, that's a late night by anyone's standard, but he's, mate, for good reason. He's here in the strongest Skippy soft ever.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. And I can see that he's from the California Club, which would put it at about 2 or 3 in the morning, actually. So he's definitely having either a very late night or a very early morning. Great to have Chris here. And we've got Alex Steenbuggen as our 10th plated car here tonight from Bellano. We've got Jeff Randall from UK and I as our 11th plated car. Neil Gardner is our 12th plated car here from AusNZ. We've got Luke Whitten making the lone Milo appearance here in car number 13, and wrapping up the field, as we've already alluded to, Tim Birdie as car number 14 from DATCH, and a 5.2k I rating just squeezing in, Alex.
Yeah, crazy stuff. That means that there's actually 3 Milo cars in the second split, as well as a couple of clowns. Crazy to see the regulars getting bumped, but some of them hanging on and doing a fantastic job. No doubt. See that straight away, the ANZ contingent jump up high on the board. Brett McBurney taking provisional pole. But there's a few people out there. Tim Birdie, who snuck in, as we said. And this is the thing about a field like this. Car number 14, don't let that fool you. Everyone in here's got some pace. When you need a 5,200 just to get in as the last car, you know he can handle a Skippy. There's a few out there. As we just hop on board with Manu, who said a 46 dead with his first lap. That's crazy stuff. Perez, who traditionally in my books hasn't been the best qualifier. I've got to tell you, of late, he's been putting the numbers on the board, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. It'll be good to see what Perez can do here as Adam Miles now goes to the top with a 45.8, eclipsing Luqueta by 0.2, if you don't mind. There's still a couple of people who have yet to complete their first lap. Perez being one of them, Frattini, Herrera, and Randall. As I just saw Herrera going off track, so he's not going to get any laps in because this is his second lap, and he has absolutely blotted it. So Chris Herrera will be from the back of the bus, Alex.
Yeah, crazy stuff. And I was just saying, Perez only just put his lap in. It was only a 46.2. Adam Miles, that's an incredible time. People have been struggling to get into the 45s all week. I know the track conditions are good, but for your first lap of 45.8, unbelievable stuff. And don't be surprised, folks, if the quickest laps all week gets laid down here tonight. Not just because of the caliber of the skippy drivers in this field. The track conditions are great. The competition's right up there. The whole thing leads to what will be some fantastic times. McBurney, speaking of which, drops it on the front row provisionally. Philippides up to 5th now. Witten currently sitting in on the second row provisionally, although, yeah, Birdie pips him out. Adam Miles now, where's he? Coming around to close his lap. Frattini pops it on pole provisionally with a 45.7. Miles coming in to have his say about that. Lucetta as well. He's coming around. He's just crossed the line. What's he got for us? Improves to pole. Miles now rounds the final corner. He's coming to lay down his final lap. What he's got, a couple of purple sectors in there. He's coming to the line now, outside out of the final run through, and he drops it with a 45.4. Brilliant stuff, Corey. Perez, the last one who can challenge him, no doubt.
Oh, absolutely, that is an amazing time. And I'm just seeing if I can pick up Perez here. He's just come out of the final hairpin around the final corner. Where will Perez fit into all this? He's currently 10th, which is incredible. He crosses the line, disappears, and I don't know where he's got 4th.
He's got 4th, that's the one. All right, let's check out our grid for the biggest race in Skippy history. Adam Miles, fresh off his win at Bathurst last week, drops it on pole with a 45.4, a 10th ahead of Saybelt Esports. Martin Lucetta joins him on the front row. Dario Frattini for FPM Cube Controls. He chucks it on the second row, starting from 3rd. 4th, joining him will be Astro Racing Team's Christian Perez. Brett McBurney from McFlabby Racing starts on the 3rd row at a 5th, next to Tim Birdie, final entrant in the field, who starts from 6th. Luke Witten, second ANZ driver, leading Team Milo driver here tonight, starts out of P7. Dimitri Philippides, the international man of mystery, starts out of 8th. Out of 9th tonight, Jose Louis Mella from Iberia. 10th will be the lone Japanese driver, Takumi Yamato from Nagai Racing School. Chris Herrera starts out of 11th tonight for running on empty, just ahead of Team Baracus' Alex Steenbruggen. As we go over the page, Neil Gardner, Captain 499 himself, starts out of 13th, ahead of our final starter on the grid, Jeff Randall for UK and I, Corey. 14 drivers, 14 laps. We're getting ready to go. Giddy up is all I can say.
That's exactly right, Alex. And as you said before, this is definitely an absolute caliber of a field. Any day of the week, these guys could win a race at any point in time throughout the day. So we should see a lot of intense action going on here. We might see a giant chess match being played out until the final couple of laps when all hell will break loose. But we won't know what's going to happen until we get everyone on the grid and going. I think everyone is on the grid now. As Fred the Flag Marshal gets ready, the red lights mean rev. And the green lights mean go. We're underway here for round number 4, season 30 of Sunday Night Lights from Sonoma, Alex.
Yeah, Adam Miles leads us away and up the hill for the first time around. Up this, again, one of the beautiful characteristics of US circuits is we get this beautiful change of elevation throughout. Miles leading the way from Lucetta, Frattini, McBurney and Bertie already going side by side, getting things sorted. McBurney will have the inside to the second part of the first chicane as they run down the hill. Oh, he's already blinking. That'll be popular amongst his compatriots out there, or his fellow racers. Always a little bit disconcerting there, Corey, when people start blinking around you.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex, especially with the way that the netcode works. It can sometimes make some other people's internet think that the car is right there when it's not, and it can lead to some big crashes. But Adam Miles comfortably in the lead right now, just looking to cruise away a little bit, and looks like we're going to get a breakaway of 4 cars here with Miles, Lucetta, Frattini and Perez. But Brett McBurney sitting back there in fifth still, and he is not going to want this front pack to run away with it, Alex.
Yeah, can I tell you, that's all it takes. That little bit of battling there from McBurney and Bertie. That's all it takes in the caliber of this field. That minor bit of battling, and what we see is a breakaway at the front four. Miles, Lucchetta, Frattini, and Perez, as you say, and they will be tough to chase down. The only people I reckon in this race who've got a real chance, and we saw it in the warm-up race actually, Lucchetta chased down Miles and Perez, who got away. Lucchetta had absolute pace to burn, but then just couldn't get by for the win. And it was Perez who took out a 5,300 strength of field for the warm-up race. Now, for the main show, we're at the 6,200 range, and these boys are here to play, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. There's going to be no stuffing about from this front four, especially any battling that they do. They're going to either wait for a mistake or they're going to wait for later in the race, because they want to stretch their legs as far as they can in these opening few laps. They don't want to have to try and fight. They want to try and extend the lead that they got and make the gap as big as they can, so when they do start battling, they will only drop back to fourth at worst and not drop back any further than that, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. It was interesting there. I was watching the delta, the interval between the front pack and McBurney in the chasing pack, who's leading the chasing pack, I should say, and it closed down to just under a second in the braking zone to the downhill turn 4 right-hander. But obviously didn't get the exit he was looking for, and it's back out to 1.5 seconds, or coming back down into the braking zone. Very interesting to see McBurney obviously braking very deep, but then sacrificing a little bit of exit speed as the front four get away once again. Although, having said that, don't want to criticise, it's probably just the compression of the front four. Very difficult to get four cars through the corner, through the braking zone as quick as the lead car of the second pack, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And it looks like our top two here, Lucchetta and Miles, actually starting to get a little bit of a gap over Frattini in third. It's only 0.3 of a second, but it's a very noticeable gap on the track as, the fourth place Perez locked up a little bit coming into the final hairpin turn 11 and just about clouted into the back of Frattini. And this is what I was talking about before, Alex, with, maybe little mistakes creeping in a little bit. There's so much pressure with this being such a big soft. Everyone wants to win the big one, and everyone wants to win the biggest one in Skippy history to have that mantle. And, it's just so much pressure for these drivers right now, but they've got to try and put that aside. It's got to be just another race until they reach those last few laps.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Now, that's our front four there. Miles, Lucchetta, Frattini, Perez. I think Perez got caught out by the braking. Might have been a little bit unsighted in that braking zone, and did well to open out the wheel and not collect Frattini in the background. Now, this second pack, again of four, you got McBurney, Bertie, Witten, and Philippides. Witten and McBurney, the two ANZ hopes at this stage. Mella now leading a tertiary pack. He's got Yamato and Herrera behind him as we see them coming down into the braking zone at turn 7 and 7A. He's got Yamato and Herrera just hanging on the back there before Gardner and Steenbruggen having a fair old tussle for 12th and 13th, and Randall now trailing off the back, Corey. Car number 11 at the back in last place at this stage. As we come back to the front and we see line astern once again, they go through the closing sector through turn 10 down into sweeping through turn 10 down into the brake zone at 11. Frattini showing the nose, but more as much in defence as it was attack, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And I've just been looking at the second pack here because I saw that McBurney was starting to pull away a little bit. And there's a bit of a battle going on between Bertie and Witten right now. So McBurney, he's loving what he's seen in the mirror. These two battling side by side as they're side by side going through the turn 11 hairpin. And he has now opened up a 7/10 of a second gap over Tim Bertie. So McBurney absolutely rubbing his hands in delight, but also maybe a little bit disappointed that these guys aren't working with him to try and catch the front pack, Alex.
Yeah, not like Bathurst where there's a bit of leapfrog action though. So line astern is pretty much the order of the day until the real cards get played towards the end of the race a lot of the time. But McBurney will be pretty happy that the battles take place because that gives him a clean look at front without having to watch his mirrors, at least for the time being. Although the gap's down to about 6/10. as the draft does play a part in dragging folks around here, not so much in the overtaking, as all the braking zones where you would normally see it as the front pack now starting to get busy. They're going 2x2. Lucetta looks to make his move. Frattini looks to defend from Perez around the outside. They are going 2x2. Oh, Lucetta gets it done. It's a very wide exit there, but Miles comes back at him. Oh, I spoke too soon. Miles comes back at him now through the sweeping. 9 and 10 is coming up in a minute. They're back to beautiful defence there, mounted by Miles. 5 corners worth of action there, Corey, and the positions remain unchanged.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. It was a very impressive job there from Miles to hold on to the lead. But that corner, that turn 7 double apex hairpin is what I like to call it. It really lends to defending around the outside and how much extra momentum you can gain as you start getting into all those little S sections. You see now Miles actually going a little bit defensive into turn 1. I thought he would have moved over to the right a little bit more because it sets him up better for the second corner. But it looks like side by side now is Lucetta and Frattini, as Lucetta trying to hold off, and this is actually letting Adam Miles get away a little bit, Alex. 0.6 of a second as they come through turn 3A.
Yeah, Lucetta defending from both Perez and Frattini as Perez gets the job done finally. You didn't know where to look. Am I attacking? Am I defending? Am I doing both at the same time? Probably. And at the end of it, it is actually Perez who comes through and gets the move done. That's how tough it is to get a pass done here. And what it does mean, though, McBurney's coming in after setting his best lap. The best lap of the race, though, was set by Birdie behind him. And we have a long line of skippies as we come down into the braking zone at the 7 and 7A hairpin. It is a fair hairpin. It's a fairly fast hairpin, but there's a beautiful sweeping exit to it, too. The car's running very wide on exit. And we now have one big pocket, pretty much, all the way down to Herrera, Yamato there, running in line of stern action with Miller, Steenbruggen and Gardner having their battle. Randall, the only one really right out of the back of this one. As we saw, Perez running very wide. He made a big blue there earlier in the week. Cost him big time. He hit the wall, cut across the track, got a massive cut track and had to take a penalty in the pits. So that searching for the extra pace through the sweeping right-hander at turn 10 can send you off into the dirt and send you off into the never, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. And that's such an on-edge corner too, turn 10. You can either start taking it in 5th and then gear down to 4th, or you just stick in 4th and do a very slight lift to get through it. So it's a very high-speed corner for a skippy. It's so easy to just get a wheel off of the exit ripple strip, and as you said, it could easily end your race, or it can end up in a lot of disaster as far as penalties are concerned. But what this battling earlier has done is this, as you said, it absolutely closed up the pack. McBurney is absolutely all over the back of Perez and Frattini right now, as the gap ahead between Miles and Lucetta has been coming down ever so slowly. It's down to 0.3 now, and Lucetta looking to try and maybe break away from Perez here, as the gap between Lucetta and Perez is 0.7.
Yeah, very interesting to see what happens here. Now, Lucetta bridged the gap between Miles and Perez last time round. The question is, can Perez bridge the gap now that one has opened up? He's still in drafts, about 7.5, nearly 0.8. He's already picked up about half, now full 10th through this section, which does have a bit of draft in it. It'll close the gap. It won't help you overtake too much, though. You're really using this as a pressure to pass zone. It's one of the fastest, if not the fastest section on the track, with the complexity of the corners thrown in. You see McBurney really throwing it hard in. And Miles forced to go defensively, and that brings them all back together. That compromised line there, Corey, that'll be the difference between a fast lap time there that keeps you ahead and keeps that gap, even with draft, and bringing them back in, because now they're only half a second, and that gap will close up shortly again, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. But I feel like Adam Miles didn't really have a choice there, because Lucetta has shown a nose once, has tried to go for a move. So now he's going to be thinking of the possible locations where Lucetta is going to make moves. One of the opportunities, and it's not a very good opportunity, but it's one that some drivers will take nonetheless, is up the inside here into turn 4. Don't see Adam going defensive. But, oh, look at how Lucetta just attacks the corner, attacks the curb, using all the road available. It didn't work out for him. In fact, he's lost a little bit of time here. But, you know, it's those subtle little differences about how you attack a corner that can really set up a run at this track.
Yeah, 100%. As we are now in a pack of 5, McBurney hanging on. He has cleared out, though, from the chasing Birdie and Witten, who are going to go side by side. That's not how you catch the guys in front, boys. Witten going very deep around the outside of 7. Birdie coming back at him underneath. Philippides looking to try and take advantage now. But Witten, we saw that up the front earlier before. The outside, the long way around, not getting it done. And all it does really is cost them any chance of catching McBurney in front. So frustrating when you think, oh, I was right with him a few laps ago, and now I'm 2.5 seconds behind, and he's on with the front guys potentially. Although he goes very wide there. Look at the attitude of the cars as they go through 10. Oh, Perez throws it up the inside of the black and yellow Saybelt Esports. Skippy of Manu Lucetta. They come exit side by side. Lucetta will have the draft. Perez has got to go the long way around, but this gives him the inside run into turn 2. Oh, he falls in behind. The draft was a little bit too much. Will he have a look up the inside of 2? No, he's going back line of turn. McBurney really look. Oh, he shortcuts. Did you see the shortcut to the apex that McBurney took? It really helped him on entry. How's it going on exit? He really looks like he's desperately trying to get onto the back of these guys properly. And he's just, his fastest section seems to be this first sector. And then as he breaks deeply in here, look at the different, he cuts, tries to cut through the apex. It's compromising his exits though, and really keeping him at a distance where he can't attack. And it's really left to Miles, Lucetta, Perez and Frattini at this stage. Oh, Lucetta leaves the door open slightly, takes a different line, and through comes Perez on the inside. Here we go, Corey. Here's a shout. These guys coming down into the hard braking zone at turn 10. Turn 7. Lucetta, though, defending. Perez has still got to go around the outside. We've seen this a few times tonight, and it hasn't worked so far. What's Perez got? Perez has got it done around the outside, if you don't mind, Corey.
That was an incredible sequence of events there, Alex, and it all started at the beginning of the carousel, turn 6, as Adam Miles actually took a defensive line in there, and it really compromised and checked up Lucetta. I don't think he was expecting it, and that's what sent him out to be that little bit wide going through the carousel. We saw what happened after that, and now here comes Frattini attacking Lucetta going into the final hairpin, turn 11, and now Lucetta is side by side with McBurney as they're battling over 4th, Alex. So Lucetta, who was almost battling for the lead, is now all the way down in 4th, and that's just how quickly things can go wrong for you, Alex. But here comes Perez all over the back of Adam Miles now.
Yeah, Adam Miles shooting for 2 in a row after getting his first win last week. And I tell you, those passes are like gold. It is very difficult to pass here. You can see the technical nature of the moves being undertaken here. And there were like 3 different lines from the first 3 cars through the carousel last time round. And that was the difference in the end. The way they managed the middle and exits of the corners really set themselves up. But it was Perez who went the difficult, the long way. And it was Perez shows the nose. This time he's not quite there. Adam shuts the door. Miles shuts the door on Perez that time round and defends. But what's that done to his exit speed? As once again they come in into the crucial turn 7.
And you can see everyone moving over to the right side of the track, trying to defend. Here goes Perez. He's looking for the outside move. He's made it work once. Oh, but he locked up. He got sideways, and that has ruined it. He's dropped back to 3rd now, just in front of Lucetta. And this means Frattini now is up into P2. Got a revolving door of people to go into 2nd place, but no one has been able to unsettle Miles so far. And he's gone from the pole, Alex, and he's still led every single lap so far.
Beautiful stuff. I was going to say the one consistent factor here at the moment has been Adam Miles on the front of this one. Oh, Frattini moves late to defend. Oh, and here we go. Perez is leaving the thinnest of margins there. But what'll that do? That'll open the door slightly for Lucetta. But 2 cars of draft, it will be enough for Perez to hang on to it. Interestingly, McBurney backed out of the move on Lucetta last lap round on the exit of the final corner. As 2 by 2, they're going to go. Oh, they're not going to go 3 wide, surely in turn 2. Not even too wide in the end, are they? Yes, they are. Frattini's going to force Perez to go all the way around the outside again. Are they still 2x2? I think no, they've got it sorted by the time they hit the turn 3 chicane. Over the crest of the hill that they go. Once again, the beautiful elevation changes at this US circuit as Frattini's nose all over the back of the rear of the Miles Skippy, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. It's an incredible sequence of events we're witnessing here. These guys are putting it all on the table as you saw Perez just about stick the nose up on the inside of Frattini. Frattini closed it off, said, nah, not this time, mate. And here goes Adam Miles now. What is he going to do? He's all the way over on the right side of the track. The draft is coming into effect. Here goes Frattini around the outside for turn 7. And he's not going to get there. In fact, Adam pushed him out a little bit wider than normal. And here comes Perez, who took a very tight line through the hairpin. Side by side they go. And I think Perez is going to have to drop back to 3rd here. He's still trying to argue the issue. There he goes, dropping back to 3rd now. And Frattini a little bit wild coming through the 8-8A section. And that might open him up here coming into turn 11, Alex.
Well spotted, mate. He did. Perez compromises turn 8. Lap after lap to give himself the run into the final corner. He will go deep under brakes here. Will he try and go around the outside? Opens himself up to Lucchetta. Lucchetta takes a beautiful line. You get the better drive on the outside, though. Lucchetta much further up this time. Will he hang on and try and attack into 2? He's sticking with it. He's sticking with it. We're on to lap 11 now, so only 4 laps to go. Lucchetta's sticking with it still and finally has to cede into turn 2 and doesn't get the chance that he was looking for out of that one, Corey.
No, Alex, indeed not. But I noticed as they're coming out of turn 11, Perez actually rubbed the wall a little bit. So that's how hard these guys are pushing Perez, who was on the outside. He didn't get forced into the wall. He tapped it all by himself, but he still managed to somehow keep up enough momentum to hold on to the 3rd position as we come into the carousel once more. You see Adam Miles going defensive. Here comes Frattini looking for an outside move around the carousel, which is not generally a place where you make a move. But he's trying to do the over-under on Adam, trying to get as much momentum out of the corner as he can. Here we go, side by side into turn number 7. In fact, we're almost 3 wide as here comes Perez looking. He's not going to get there. And wow, 3 wide in the middle of the corner, contact, and around goes Perez. And look at it, cups a piece of it as well, Alex.
Yeah, the 3 wide just didn't quite work there. But once again, Adam Miles comes away with it. We'll have a look at that. Again, if I can grab the telemetry, let's just have another look here. As they've come down 3 wide, we're going to run it. And look at Lucchetta locked up, all sorts of locked up and sideways in there. Over under tries Perez. 3 wide. Adam Miles went very, very deep, and Perez just elbowed his way through there. Frattini, I don't know if it was net code or not, looked a little, but it was always going to be sketchy. And then whether he's just got unsettled or what's Lucchetta done again? All sorts of locked up. Managed. Oh, he's just clipped him. That'll hurt Lucchetta's run as well. Yeah, look, that's really set the cat amongst the pigeons, as it were. And Miles now off to the races, so to speak. Lucchetta's still hanging on for 3rd. McBurney. But look at this. Luke Whitten now on the front of this massive train of cars, all licking their lips, trying to get in. Mella now looking side by side on Birdie. Luke Whitten made the crucial move a couple of laps ago to get in front of this pack, and that's really going to help his run. Can he make it? Well, he's made it 2 ANZ drivers in the top 5 along with McBurney, but can he push any further forward, Corey?
Well, that is going to be the ultimate question. Luke Whitten is one of the best hot lappers in a race scenario that we have. At least he was a few years ago. See if he's still got some of that spice behind him. He's trying to close up on McBurney, but at the front, as you said, Adam Miles absolutely was pulling away with this, but now Frattini all over his tail once more. And I think Christian Perez actually has left the building, Alex, a bit frustrated with how all that turned out, and he is OUT out of this race.
Certainly is. He's gone to the pits and he's gone, unfortunately. Look, it's sometimes it's rocks or diamonds, and that was a big rocks or diamonds play, and unfortunately he's come up rocks for that one. Luke Whitten, he's currently at his highest I rating ever, 5,500, and he is one of the top ANZ drivers historically and in the skips, and really pushing hard, as you say, these days. Pace for days and really working on the consistency to get him into and in the front of these kinds of fields. Tim Birdie tucked in behind him as Adam Miles now Frattini goes side by side across the start finish line. 2 to go. Frattini's going to stick with him. Will he have the inside to 2? He will. He'll force Miles to go the long way around at 2, but Miles drives around the outside. Frattini perhaps lifting a little bit just to make sure they all got through and survived to fight out for the win, Corey.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of compromised line there for Frattini. He had to take such a tight line into turn 2 there, and it's a fairly difficult corner as is with the way that the elevation changes on that corner. But here he goes now. He's looking for another outside run going into the carousel. As I said, it's not usually a place where you make a move, but it's definitely a place where you get the crossover going, as he is right up the gearbox of Miles side by side now as they go down the drag strip runoff area. Now, what's it going to be coming through the hairpin? Side by side they go. Adam with a huge run. I think he was a little bit too late on the brakes, and here goes Frattini now into the lead. The first legitimate lead change we've had all race, Alex.
Wow, set him up and took big advantage there. Fantastic setup from Frattini there. Almost started at turn 2, really. Set him up, got nice and close, unsettled him through turn 2, and then really set him up through the carousel to get the run around the outside. Miles out braking himself. Frattini pushing very hard for his first win. Miles now comes down the inside, deep into the braking zone, takes a very short line through the final corner. Frattini will have the better drive. Will Miles stick with him? We've seen this all night. This is possibly one of the better runs we've seen. He's got to be able to stick around the outside as the white flag comes out. He's very, very close. Can Frattini cut him out? No, he can't. Miles will have the inside run into turn 2. Can he make it work? Has to compromise. Side by side they go. In the background, the Seibelt Esports car of Lucchetta looming large. Frattini. Oh, that contact. Oh, Miles runs off. He's stuck with it, though. He might have a slowdown. And Manu Lucchetta around the outside at the downhill braking zone at turn 4 gets it done on Miles. Has led every lap, Corey, and he's going to get swamped at the end.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex, and I do believe he did get a slowdown for that. Frattini just clipping the curb a little bit, but Frattini is off to the races now. I don't think anyone's going to head him from here unless Lucchetta can put in something special right now. See Adam Miles still, I think, trying to clear his slowdown there, but he's trying to do it strategically where he doesn't lose too much time, as behind him McBurney and Luke Whitten are right there, and we went from having them all spread out after the crash in the turn 7 hairpin to a big just glob of skippies once more, Alex. So we're coming through the S's for the final time. What's it going to be when we get to turn 11? Lucchetta is in striking range, so it's going to be interesting to see how this race is going to end, Alex.
Yeah, a little bit of damage on the back of Frattini's car there. Lucchetta with a good run. Frattini goes defensive straight away. It's going to have to be very deep brake. Very compromised entry. Oh, he's very tight on entry. Lucchetta will have the better drive, but it won't be enough. It'll be Frattini. The two Italians, 1-2. Frattini, the run to the line over Lucchetta, and it'll be FPM Cube Controls. Dario Frattini takes out his first win from Manu Lucchetta. Adam Miles back to being the bridesmaid after leading this one for so much of the race. McBurney and Whitten round out your 5. Two very strong performances from those guys. Great to see ANZ drivers up the front of the field, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. 4 and 5 for 2 of the AusNZ competitors. Absolutely amazing. McBurney and Whitten should be proud of themselves. And I was just having a quick little squiz, Alex. The margin of victory was 0.036 of a second. So that's how close Lucchetta got as they were coming across the line. You saw him creeping up towards the side of Frattini. Just not enough space to get that move made. Crazy
stuff. Who would have thought Sonoma's been heavily criticised for... tough to find a pass at. And you could see that there, but the skill of the guys just showed you how difficult it is, but also the talent that they've got to be able to get the moves done. Not all of them came off. There was a bit of stuff going on here and there where people have ended up in the pits and all, and that happens though. But that happens when you've got to manufacture something out of nothing, Corey. Fantastic effort.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. The racing display that these drivers have been putting on for us here tonight has been second to none. This is the highest soft that we've ever had in a Skippy race on iRacing, and these guys proved why they all have the I ratings that they have. Incredible racing start to finish, and everyone should be very proud of themselves.
Yeah, mate, befitting of the strongest Skippy field ever assembled. Now, let's let us... what's going on here? I want to grab the results now, please, if you don't mind. Let's go see the results of round 4 of season 30 of Sunday Night Lights here from Sonoma. Strongest field ever assembled. Taken out by one Dario Fattini for FPM Cube Controls. Fantastic drive at the end there. Skippy looked a little battered and bruised the second hand by the end of it, but that's what it takes sometimes to win. Just ahead of his Italian compatriot for Saybelt Esports, Manu Lucchetta. Great to see Manu back in the Skippies here on a Sunday night. Adam Miles, who led, he took pole in a fantastic time. He led every lap but the last couple, I think it was, in such a hard-fought battle. Ends up with a strong and hard-fought podium position. Brett McBurney for McFlabby Racing, the leading ANZ driver in 4th, just ahead of Luke Whitten for Team Milo. They're in P5, the other Milo drivers, all three of them in the second split, I think, tonight. P6 went to Tim Birdie. They're making, well, his second race, I think, or third race back after a long hiatus. Jose Luis Miller from Iberia, they're in 7th. The International Man of Mystery, Dimitri Philippides, finished in 8th tonight. The lone Japanese driver, Takumi Yamato for Nagai Racing School, he's finished in 9th, just ahead of running on empties, Chris Herrera in 10th. Alex Steenbruggen for Team Baracus and the Netherlands is in 11th. The Captain 499 taking out the final point scoring position for Sunday Night Lights in 12th. Neil Gardner. Jeff Randall finished in 13th, just ahead of Astro Racing Team's Christian Perez. Such a tragic way for his race to end, but he put it all on the line, and unfortunately tonight, Corey, didn't come up trumps.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. 3 wide going into the hairpin at turn 7. Very, very risky move, and he thought he could make it work, but the compression when they all started to go into the second apex there just kind of ruined it a little bit for all 3 of them. But yeah, what a race. It's just incredible start to finish. And also during the race, we were getting updates from second split. They had a 3700 soft, Alex. For second split, that's incredible. And unfortunately, Ben Snell doing Milo things and spun out on lap 1 in front of the entire field.
No, that's not so good. All right, let's talk to a couple of our drivers. First up, we'll bring up last week's winner. This week, Pole led nearly everything and then ultimately came unstuck. Mr. Adam Miles, mate. Great drive out there. Strongest Skippy field ever assembled, mate. You're right up there at the front. How was it out there?
Yeah, I think I'd be more disappointed if I hadn't got the win last week, and this was if this had been the closest I'd come, it would have really been gutting. But it was a good race. Yeah, brilliant qualifying lap, unlike last week. I had to do a little bit of defending. I wasn't too under pressure for the first sort of 11 or 12 laps, and then there was the incident in the turn 8 right hand. I think I went a little bit deep. Dario cut inside me, Christian cut inside him. There was a bit of wheel banging, and then I think it ended Christian's race. I thought, okay, I've got a 0.7 gap. It's just Dario. Surely I can do this. And then he obviously had the draft caught up and just outbraked myself into turn 8, which gave him the position. And then we were side by side through the beginning of I think it was the penultimate lap, and he's apologised. He sort of bounced off the curb on the inside, pushed me over the grass, and then I was sort of serving a 1 second slowdown for the last lap as easily as I could. But yeah, not too bad. I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, mate, pretty eventful race all said and done. I mean, like I said, you led most of it. They were coming at you from everywhere too. Everyone, I think, had a shot in the end, and it wasn't until that 3 wide and then the stuff that followed on from there that it all just sort of unwound a bit, and a couple of bits of bad luck there. Otherwise, you would have taken it out, I think.
Yeah, just 5 meters on the brakes on 1 lap, and that's the difference between winning the highest off ever and finishing 3rd. But I'm not too disappointed. I've got a 34 race podium streak going on at the moment, and I thought that's number 35 now. So pretty happy to keep that going in such a strong field.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Congratulations, and congratulations to the Skippy community that continues to support the series. There's a core group of people that come out and really show what this series is all about. The racing here tonight was outstanding, as was the field top to tail. 5,200 buys you a ticket into this one. So it tells you what the sort of quality is about. So thanks again, Adam. Great drive, mate. Really great to see you out there having a good one. And hopefully we'll get to talk to you again soon. Anyone you'd like to say g'day to or thank while you're here?
I'm going to do a call out rather than a shout out. We could have had a higher soft if it wasn't for Mr. Hendrickson, who's apparently allergic to Sonoma. So if he'd been there, who knows what soft we would have got.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a couple of people in the bleachers tonight. Can I tell you, Sonoma again now retains or regains the dubious history of having both the lowest and the highest strength of field for SNL ever. 2009 was the lowest split. Right, not the year. That was the total of the single split race that we broadcast. Right, but it also has the characteristic of having Lando Norris do his only SNL appearance, or MNL, I think it was at the time. So it's got a bit of history here, and tonight added a bit to that, mate. So congratulations, you were a part of it and did a great job as well. And look forward to talking to you again soon, mate.
Yep. See you all next week.
There you go, Corey. That was Adam Miles, Skippy community rep with iRacing, and fairly handy in them as well.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And, can't thank Adam Miles enough for what he does in the background for the Skippy community. He puts in a lot of work, and it definitely shows. But, wow, he led every single lap but the last two. And, he's definitely still in good spirits. 54 race podium streak, was it? He
34,
said, or 34 something.
Yeah.
34, that's incredible. 34 races in a row, he's finished on a podium in SNL. That's a hard stat to beat, honestly. I don't think anyone else could even claim to be anywhere close to doing that. So Adam Miles definitely one of the front runners, and he's proven it with just that stat alone.
Yeah.
But, he got his win last week. He definitely put in the hard yards this week, and I like the fact that he did that little subtle call out. Putting people on notice. And, as he said, and as you said, imagine what the strength of field could have been if we had some of the other higher I rating guys join the racing.
Yeah, to be fair, I think we had a bit of a perfect storm. Good number of drivers in here to put on a great show, but low enough to keep the number really high. Having said that, there were some 5K drivers who didn't make it in tonight. So, crazy stuff. But we've got a bit of a treat, folks. He was relegated to the second split here tonight, but we have one of the old faithful, one of the old favourites, Mr. Enzo Cantor. Enzo, welcome back to Sunday Night Lights. What second split, mate? What's going on?
Hi guys. So I'm very happy to be here today because, as you know, I am one of the drivers that wrote the story of this incredible Sunday Night Lights Championship. I was with you at the very beginning of this series, and it's very incredible the way you made this series grow up in this way, because it seems 5,000 of a rating is not enough to be in the top split now.
Yep.
So it's incredible. So I'm a little bit disappointed for that, but no problem, because I can tell you about a victory, because
Beautiful.
I was in the second split. But the second split was not so bad, because it was 3,700. So really incredible. And what I can say, first of all, congratulations to Dario and Manu that was in the first two position of the top split. Very incredible level. And but I was a little bit cold in the warm-up race. And in this one, I did a very good qualify, because if the weather is the same the weather in the splits, I think it's the same.
Yes.
So I did 45.8 that put me in the fifth position in the top split. So I could fight for the win in the top split with Dario and Manu. We should be three Italian drivers in the first three position of the top stellar split of the Skip Barber. But no problem at all. I enjoyed the second one, and I'm satisfied because it was no no easy at all to keep a fast enough pace to be in front. So congratulations to all the drivers in this series, because really, really incredible level.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Couldn't have said it better myself. There's a lot of strength in that second split here tonight as well, yourself included, of course. Those of you who don't know, Enzo is the won more MNL and SNL championships than anyone else, and on the back of it, was successful in winning the official series a couple of times as well, if I'm not mistaken. So there's no escaping from it. The standard is really lifting when the likes of the great Enzo Genzo gets relegated and takes out the second split. But I think you're right, mate. I think that the pace was evenly spread across much of the field, all the way down deep into the second split. I think there were a lot of people there that could have done fantastically well, including yourself. So congratulations on the win, Enzo. Great to see you back, mate. Anyone you'd like to say to g'day to or shout out while you're here?
Well, I have to say thanks to you as always, because you are keeping alive this series and this broadcast. So really thanks to you. And the bad thing is that let me say one thing. I looked at your progress in driving skills and iRating, and I have sincerely to say congratulations to you, because you are, I think, became one of the one of the fastest and most consistent driver in the field. So it's very a pity that you cannot enjoy this top splits because you have to broadcast it, no? Because I think you are fast enough to be in front of the top split. So perhaps you have to find someone who substitutes you in the broadcast in order to challenge us.
Maybe. Listen, thank you, Enzo. I really do appreciate that. It's very nice of you to say. But look, part of what we do here is, and we always say it's by the community, for the community, and that's how we like it. And it's these sorts of things that we do that keep the skippies alive and as strong as they are. So happy to do our part. But Enzo, that does mean a lot, and I do appreciate it. So thank you once again for coming and having a race. I hope we can see you again soon, mate, and I hope your family's well. Thank you, mate, and we'll talk again soon.
I wish to, and again, thanks to you and to Corey, because every time wonderful work from you.
Beautiful. Thanks, Enzo. Talk soon, mate. There you go, Corey, the great Enzo Cantor. Gracious in victory in the second split, but he's, like I said, it's a 3,700 strength of field. There were seasons where we didn't see one of those, and now it was the second split on the biggest night, on the biggest stage for the skippies, which is fantastic. Great drive from Enzo to finish first, no doubt, and congratulations to him, mate. But great to see him. Great, as always, to have an Enzo interview at the end of an SNL race.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. I've been missing my Enzo Genzo interviews. I was just saying this to you just a couple of weeks ago, I do remember. It's great to have him come in for a chat. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see him in the top split here, but at least he got to taste the champagne of victory there in the second split. And it sounds like, from what he's suggesting, maybe we need to have another Corey and Tim broadcast just so you can have a run in a top split race, Alex.
Nah, we'll see how we go. These boys are too good for me, I think. Anyway, listen, speaking of race winners, we do have one last sneaky entrant into the booth. We have the race winner, Mr. Dario Fattini, who's snuck in quietly in the background. Congratulations, mate. You must be on top of the world at the moment.
Oh, yes, I am. Yeah, I've been screaming since the second half of the last lap. I've only just stopped now so I could join.
Yeah, beautiful, mate. Well, the strongest field ever. You've managed to fight your way through. Started in third on the second row, obviously, with alongside Perez. You had Luqueta and Miles in front of you, both of them. No mugs. Those guys around you are some of the best, if not the best, going around at the moment. How did you feel up there, right in there, let alone coming away with a win?
Well, I mean, starting the race, I don't know, I wasn't feeling very confident because being beaten by 2-3 tenths in qualifying, this is one of my strongest tracks as well. So I was feeling a bit down. I was just thinking, I just tried to think positive because just being at the very top of these splits, like 6,000 rating is incredible. So I just tried to get my mojo back, and I don't know. I just tried to keep my nose clean, and I saw that I could keep up. I could make some moves, and it's a shame that Christian crashed. We just tried to go too wide. I mean, 3 wide in a space for 2 cars. I don't know. His crash was a bit weird, but and yeah, I'm sorry. I tapped Adam at the end. It just happens with close racing on a track like this. You have to take any chance as it comes. You can't leave anything on the table, and sometimes just small mistakes. But yeah, I don't really know what to say. It's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, mate, absolutely. Top driving, you're right. It's so hard to manufacture a pass around here. Sometimes, that's what it takes. And I know the guys up there around there will expect that, and they'll give as good as they get, no doubt, as well. But listen, congratulations. Fantastic effort on the biggest night, on the biggest stage. To come away with a win is, until there's a bigger one, and it's going to be a while, right? You can say you won the strongest race ever in the Skip Barbers. That's fantastic work, mate. Congratulations. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
The whole community, really, because some may say that the series is going towards the grave, but I think bar maybe the Porsche and I don't know, a few series here and there, we have the highest softs on the service. And I think the racing shows it. So I'm so happy with almost everyone involved. That sounded a bit too condescending, really. Everyone involved. And yeah, as Enzo said, it's a shame that you can't participate because you're bloody fast as well. You should just have somebody else stream and join us for a couple of races. But really, thank you so much for what you do. It's amazing that you do this all for free, and the quality is amazing.
Oh, thanks, mate. Really do appreciate it. And that's honestly, that's why we do it, is just to give back to the community that's given me so much, certainly over a period of time. And I know Corey loves coming in and having a chat as well. So, but thank you. We really do appreciate it. Well done, Dario, mate. Look forward to bigger and better things to come. Although where to from here is bigger and better, I don't know, mate. But congratulations anyway.
First of many.
First of many. There we go. He said it here first, but you heard it here first. Anyway, thanks, Dario, mate. Look forward to talking to you again soon, mate. Ciao. There you go, Corey. Dario Fattini. He's put it all on the line. Bigger and better things, he reckons. Here we go.
I mean, anything is possible, Alex. I mean, it didn't honestly take all that much between our last highest soft ever and this one. So the potential is there that we could start getting bigger and bigger splits. But, only time will tell for that. But congratulations, Dario. I'm pretty sure this is his first win, or one of his first few wins here in SNL as well. So that's another incredible feat in itself. And he was saying that he was screaming from the last half lap onwards. I heard the screaming in my ears because I had the radio turned on, and I actually had to mute the driver chat just so I could get through the rest of the lap there for the broadcast.
Yeah, nice. I can imagine. Oh, man, I would have been too. Come on, Skippy, get it. Anyway, all good. All right, folks, that might do us on this auspicious occasion. Been a fantastic night of racing. Well done to all involved for putting on the biggest show ever seen in the skips. Corey, you want to tell the folks at home what you got coming up this week?
It's going to be another little bit of a rest week here for me. I've got a couple of little races that I'm doing on iRacing throughout the week on the Wednesday and the Friday. But apart from that, it's just going to be back here with you again next week, Alex.
Beautiful. All right, folks. Thank you, everyone, for joining us once again. Make sure you check out this replay and all the others for the 30 seasons of Monday and Sunday Night Lights on the Top Split YouTube channel. Hit like, thumbs up, subscribe, all those things. It really, really does help us, as it does here on the Top Split TV Twitch channel. Make sure you come and check us out here each and every Sunday night for the greatest show in the Skipper universe. That's what we claim to be, and tonight certainly proved it in my mind, if nothing else. And of course, join us in the Discord community. That's where you'll find the latest and greatest SNL news, views, and everything else that's going on for everything Sunday Night Lights. But folks, that might do us for now. Thank you very much again for your support, both on track and off. It is very, very much appreciated, and it's what keeps us going here. And on behalf of the chaotic one, Mr. Corey Steinhauser, I'm Alex McKellar, and I will say ciao for now.